Stop reminiscing. Stop trying to nitpick everything. I'm just saying how it is. I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm just gonna be giving you some hard truths, okay? One thing that you need to do in engagement is Hey guys, it's Lily. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. So today, I am really excited about this video. I've had this video in the back of my mind for a while, and as you know by the title, it is what every young bride needs to know and some advice. Because a little background, if you've never been to my channel, I am 20 years old. I got engaged at 19 and I got married at 20. So I got married on May 21st, which was 3 months ago, almost 3 months ago. Actually, what day is it? 3 months ago and 3 days. That's crazy. Also, when we got married, it was in a pandemic. There was a lot of things that were different than a normal wedding because our wedding was in a pandemic. So some of these tips are things that I experienced. Maybe you won't experience because you might not be planning your wedding in a pandemic. Or if you're watching this right now and you're engaged and it's still kind of, COVID's still around, then here you go. Here's some advice. Also, if you hear any background noise, I'm doing laundry and the laundry room is literally the next room, and then my Roomba robot vacuum is going on and it is really loud. So if you hear any of that noise, I'm so sorry. Let's just get started because I'm filming this on a Wednesday, and Wednesdays are my days that I can try to fit in a video. So here we go. Here it is. I have about like 9 points that I want to tell you guys. I'm going to try to do it briefly, but also I want to give you some good pointers, and yeah. So the number one thing that I would say and that I tried to strive for in my wedding planning experience is to relax. There's a lot of things that go on in a wedding. There's a lot of little details that go on. There's a lot of things that you have to try and figure out. Kind of all my points are under this one point because these are all tips on how to kind of try to make your wedding experience a relaxing experience as best as it can be. So obviously my wedding was in a pandemic, so that can all up the stress already. One thing that I did was to make sure I had like at least one day a month where I could pamper myself. I am a very stressed out person. I can get stressed very easily. My mind goes a million miles per hour. I think about everything and anything, and I'm just a very easily stressed out person. So even just trying to fit in me time, like doing a face mask or teeth whitening or something like that, stressed me out. So I kind of wish that like things that don't stress me out, watching TV, watching YouTube, those are like things that I've realized that are like my me time. Because even trying to do like a spa night, like a pampering night, stresses me out because then I have to like put on my face mask, then wash it off, then scrub my body with body scrub, and then shave, and like that stuff, you're on your feet, you're not really relaxing. And if I did put on a face mask, I'd be doing the dishes while it's on, or I'd be doing something else while it's on, So I kind of wish that I would have realized what truly are things that I like to do that are relaxing. And even like going to a movie or going out and just hanging out with friends, like that's relaxing to me because I don't have to think about anything else. During your wedding planning season, make sure to do things you like to do and to not always be thinking about it. Our wedding, we planned it 11 months. In 11 months, I know a lot of people will do a year, or some people will do 5 months. It just kind of depends on your engagement time, but we planned it in 11 months, so that was plenty of time. So yeah. Also under this bullet point is I said try to plan out everything in the beginning stages and don't nitpick every single detail. I had my wedding planned out since I was like 8 years old, so I kind of already knew what I wanted, but the main thing was like getting a venue, because when we got engaged was when everyone was like canceling their weddings because of COVID, so then they were rebooking for the next year. So we had to get into a venue like really quick. So I think it was like literally the week that we got engaged, we got a venue because we needed to make sure we had a secure spot. So, and then like other than that, like we got our wedding guest list done really early. before I started school. We did a lot of things before I started school because I was in cosmetology school the whole year. I knew I was going to be starting that, so I wanted to get things done before that. So I got like my guest list done. I got my registry done before we got engaged. I had like 400 items on our registry, but like I had it done. So that's a big one. The venue's a big one, like catering and stuff like that. We already like outlined what we wanted. And the nice thing is like with our venue, we had like all the decor and stuff through the venue. So like we didn't have to worry about doing that kind of stuff. And so a lot of the big stuff get done early, especially if you have a longer engagement. Don't put it off. Do it early because then you'll be a lot less stressed. So the second point I have is get the idea of a dream wedding out of your head. I'm going to be real with you because, you know, I'm real on my channel. I say it how it is. I still struggle with seeing other girls' weddings and nitpicking my own wedding. Even if their wedding isn't that glamorous, like I still look at their wedding and I'm like, wow, I wish I would have had this, or I wish I would have had this. It's so unhealthy, and I'm still trying to get over it because my wedding was such an amazing wedding, but at the same time it wasn't what I dreamt of. And the reality is, what you think your wedding is going to be like in the movies or on Pinterest is really not how it's going to be. Every wedding has their hiccups, every wedding has their problems, every wedding has their family issues, every wedding has something. If it wasn't COVID, it would have been something else. Get the idea of a dream wedding out of your head because it's not possible to have a picture perfect wedding, okay? Just saying. The pictures and the videos and the highlight reels. My Roomba is literally sucking up like a dead body right now. Hold on. It always gets stuck under the fridge. It's so stupid. Okay. Also, your wedding will not be like her wedding. As I was saying, I nitpick my wedding and look at other people's weddings. And I think for me, the process of getting married was so different than what I thought it was going to be. And so once it was over, this is going to sound really stupid, but if you've been married, I hope I'm not the only one that feels like this. I like grieved the ending of my wedding because this has been the anticipation of my wedding has been built up inside of me since I was a little tiny girl. I remember drawing in my diary at like 6 years old my dream wedding. And so for that to be over and like I'm never gonna get married again, I'm never gonna have another wedding unless we do like renewal of vows, like it's over, it's done. And even though like I was relieved that was over and done and we can finally start our life, it's still like, well, then you see on your Pinterest like different things that you could have done, or you see on TikTok the different things that people are doing in their wedding and you wish you would have done. And so like you have to get that out of your head. Like I even stopped like watching those type of TikToks and like stopped looking at those type of Pinterest pictures and like saying like not interested because it's so unhealthy. So just make sure when you're planning your wedding, and if you're someone like me, don't compare other people's weddings to your wedding. We only had 50 people at our wedding. I wish we would have had 175. I wish we would have 200 people. But you know what? God created our wedding. He knew exactly what was going to happen even before I was born on the day of my wedding. So just stop reminiscing. Stop trying to nitpick everything. I'm just saying how it is. I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm just going to be giving you some hard truths, okay? So number 3, and this is a huge one, and this is one that everyone was always telling me, is ask for help. Do not hesitate to ask for help. That is why you have a maid of honor. That is why you have your helpers. Like if you have a close friend or a close mom or grandma or whatever, like make sure to ask for help. And this is a huge one. I mean, I am someone who likes to do everything herself because I know how I want it to look. I realized that I really did need help. So I started just putting people on tasks. I even wrote out in my wedding planner, like I gave each of my bridesmaids a specific task, even if it wasn't huge, like I gave them something. I made sure to send out reminders every month for my bridesmaids to remind them of what they need to do, what they need to remember, blah, 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 blah. Make sure to ask for help. I asked my aunt to get food for the bridesmaids while they were getting ready. She brought trays and trays of food. It was amazing. I asked my grandma to go with me to do stuff. I asked my friends to just do random things for me. I even wish I would have asked for more help, but people want to help you. They do. Don't think that like you're a burden on them, because you're not. You're the bride. This is your day. Ask for help. And don't feel bad. Because I usually feel bad when I ask people for help, but don't do that, because it's your day and you want to be as least stressed as possible. And that was my number one goal, was on the day of my wedding, I did not want to be stressed. I said I could be stressed the whole entire year of engagement, I don't care, but the day of my wedding, I did not want to be stressed. I don't care what happens, I don't care what drama goes down, I don't care, I don't want to be stressed. And I was not stressed at my wedding at all. The day of my wedding was amazing. It was fun. I was dancing, I was singing, I was doing my friend's makeup, I was doing my bridesmaid's hair. I was just like giddy and happy, and everyone was like, what's going on? Like, you're the most happy, like excited, not nervous bride. And I'm like, well, I'm just not stressed. So I gave everyone jobs, and I let them do it, and I let them handle it, and I didn't even look at the venue, I didn't even look at the flowers, I didn't even look at anything. I was just like, okay, there you go. Okay, so number 4 is get a wedding planner. Now, a physical wedding planner. You don't have to get an actual, like a wedding coordinator. I did have a wedding coordinator because she came with my venue. She was extra additional charge, but a wedding coordinator, you should get a wedding coordinator, because that along goes with asking for help. But I mean a physical wedding planner. Now, if you're someone that doesn't like physically writing down things, do it in your phone, do it on the knot.com, do it on a wedding planning app, but do something. I am a person that loves writing things out. I still have a physical planner, so I love writing things down. So this is a wedding planner from Target.com. Just looks like this. I showed it a few times before. This is a very detailed planner. I didn't even like touch half of this planner. There's a one for planning. I did a lot in the planning one. There's inspiration, there's budgeting. I did a lot in budgeting. There's a ceremony, clothing, flowers, beauty, all that kind of stuff. Guests, stationery, gifts, photography, transportation, honeymoon, like there's all that kind of stuff. I didn't even really touch like half of this book, to be honest. But it's very, very good for planning out. I planned out months and months and months in advance. It's just really great because you can sit down and just plan out the whole wedding month by month by month. And that's a lot less stressful when you do that, because you have a checklist. You have things that you need to get done and you check it off. And you know what you need to do. You don't have excuses. You know the deadlines that you need to make. You know the payments that you need to make. So I definitely recommend a wedding planner. There's my rainbow if you can hear it. So sorry about that. This is a Miss to Mrs. wedding planner that they sent me. I had a Miss to Mrs. subscription box. I barely even used this. I honestly just used this as like a planner. But like, yeah, I barely even touched it. It's just kind of simple. It just says notes on it, and then it has like dates and stuff. I barely touched this. I can honestly use this as a regular planner. But number 5 is get all the high stress things out of the way first. So that's what I kind of said earlier. Like venue, all that big stuff. I already said that. I already touched on that. So I don't know why I put that in there. Number 6. This is a really big one. Try to find things that will make your life easier, like maybe paying extra for decor instead of doing DIY. So this is super big. A lot of girls, and I see it on social media all the time, a lot of brides will stress themselves out because they need to get all these amazing decorations. They need to have this, that, and the other. Like when I was planning my wedding, I thought I was going to have like these fancy decorations. Like I was going to DIY all these amazing things. I was going to have like a Bible highlight like your favorite verse. I was gonna have like photo booth. I was gonna have a Polaroid picture thing. I was gonna have a guest book list, like all this kind of stuff. And I ended up only having like a guest book, and that's about it. I kind of wish I would have done a photo booth though, because we were gonna have a photo station, but we ended up not for some reason. I don't remember why, but like we literally ended up only having like the gift station and then the guest book station. And then I made like a seating chart, and it was really cute. It was DIY. And then I had like our welcome sign, and that's it. Like we didn't have anything super, super fancy. I kind of wish maybe we would have done like a Bible, highlighting Bible verse, but I just forgot, and I just didn't care because I didn't want to be stressed out. And like literally 5 people signed our guest book because we only had 50 people coming. So like whatever. If you are wanting to make all of your centerpieces DIY or your flowers or whatever, like if you can and if you have the money for it, just let someone else do it. Buy something so you don't have to put it together, or even rent stuff. A lot of people rent stuff because at the end of the day, first of all, you're taking all that DIY stuff home, and second, it's just going to be a pain in the butt, especially if you're working or a student. Like, it's just, you don't want to deal with that stuff. So as I said, my venue had a built-in like vendor that had all of the decorations, so I didn't have to worry about setting up or tearing down or taking home stuff. All I had to take home was the stuff that I brought, which is only a few things. So if you have the money and if you can, I would recommend just saving yourself the stress. Don't do a bunch of DIY stuff. The only stuff that I did DIY was our favors and our seating chart, pretty much, and I think that's it. And as I said, you see all these amazing things that all these people do, the Polaroid pictures, the Bible verse highlight thing, the favorite date thing, the dessert table, the hot chocolate table, the chocolate fountain. Like, it's not gonna be, you're not gonna have everything. I mean, maybe you could, but I didn't, and I was perfectly fine. So just remember the day of the wedding, you're not even gonna remember or care. Number 7, and this is the most important one, okay? Focus on your marriage. Your wedding day is only one day out of the rest of your lives together. Engagement is a stressful time, but you want to make sure you are spending enough time with your future spouse and not stressing yourself and them out. So this is a huge one. You know, as a bride, as a fiance, especially girls, we focus on the wedding, we focus on what we need to do, and we neglect the fiance, the boy. That is something that I didn't realize I did, but like, we still had a good relationship. We have been so much better as a couple now than when we were engaged, because I was under so much stress. There were so many things that were just going like on, and so many things that were stressing me out, and so many plans changing and all this stuff, so many unknowns. On top of that, planning a wedding and then literally like forgetting about Jack, because I was planning this wedding. I didn't want him to do anything because I wanted to do it all. He can't really do anything, and I was just focusing on the day, and I wasn't really focusing on our future together. I focused on getting the bedroom ready, but like not even thinking about him. You know, I cleaned out my closet for his stuff, but like not even really thinking truly about him. So like, or not being with him enough. And so I think it's so important to, aside from your wedding planning and how stressful it is, take time to be with them. We did premarital counseling, which honestly saved us, because if we didn't do premarital, I don't know what we would have done or how we would have been, because premarital was so important and it was so vital. One thing that you need to do in engagement is do premarital, because even statistically, I think it's like 40 to 70% of people that do premarital are people that don't get divorced. Get premarital counseling. Make sure you are valuing your relationship with your husband, because at the end of the day, when your wedding day is over and you had this perfect, amazing wedding day and it was glamorous and you had everything you could have imagined and 4,000 people, and then you're laying in bed with this person and you're like, wait a second, I just wanted to get married just to like get married. Like, I didn't want to actually be with you, you know? Like, your wedding day is not Hollywood. It is a lifelong commitment. It is a lifelong statement of, I want to be with you, not I want to be with the wedding, you know? Like, that is something that I just wish I would have focused more on, because I was so focused on the actual wedding. Yeah, and then to kind of go along with that, point 8 is, I would say my day, my wedding all the time, but it's your guys' day. You and your husband. Change your mindset and vocabulary, and it sounds bad to others. The whole time we were engaged, I would say my wedding, my apartment, my money, my caterer, my venue, all this stuff. And I didn't realize I was doing it, and I've been doing this for a long time. This is kind of always how I've been very independent. I lived on my own, so I just always said my stuff, and I still do it sometimes, but it is so important that you need to start changing your mindset, because when you say mine, 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 it doesn't even sound like you're getting married to a person. It just sounds like you're getting married to your wedding. And as I said, the wedding is you and your husband's day, not your day. It is more, you know, fun for the bride, but it is you and your husband's day. And I so wish I would have changed my vocabulary sooner, because it sounded bad to others when I always said my day, my wedding, my this, my that. And I didn't even realize it. You know, when you're saying that to other people and they're like, does she even care about her fiance? Does she even care about her future husband? Like, so it's just very important that you are using the correct vocabulary and that your mindset is in the right place. Because a lot of women, a lot of girls, they just want to get engaged to get married and have this perfect wedding, and then they end up getting divorced because the only reason they wanted to get married was to have and create a perfect wedding. So make sure you're not just getting engaged and getting married to have this perfect picture, perfect day to post on Instagram and social media. You need to make sure you're doing it for the right reason. We didn't have a glamorous engagement. We didn't have a glamorous wedding, but we wanted to be together, and I would not change it for the world. You need to make sure the person that you're marrying is the person that you want to have kids with, the person that you want to live with for the rest of your life and settle down with, despite their flaws, because once you get married, you're going to see more flaws than you did before you got married. And it's just, you know, so make sure that you are in your right mindset, okay? And then number 9, last thing, is Pinterest all day, every day, okay? Pinterest was my best friend. Me and Pinterest go way, way back to like before Instagram times. I love Pinterest, but remember, don't make your Pinterest pictures your priority. Don't make your Pinterest pictures make you stressed out and make you want to crawl in a hole and give up, you know? Like, yes, Pinterest is amazing because I found all of my inspiration on Pinterest. I found all of how I wanted my wedding to look, what my theme was, what my colors were, all that kind of stuff on Pinterest, but I didn't take everything from Pinterest and put it into my wedding. So it's great for ideas, it's great for the mind going and getting going and stuff like that, but make sure to not just solely think about, I need this to look this way, I need this to have this, I need this to have that. So if it doesn't work out, it's okay, trust the process, but Pinterest is a great tool, especially if maybe you aren't like me and haven't dreamed of your wedding your whole entire life and you need some inspiration. Pinterest is amazing. I have my wedding board on Pinterest is about 1,000 pins, which is a lot. Anywho, that is all that I have for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. I know I sounded really direct and maybe a little like in your face, but marriage is not something to just mess around with and to play with and to just get married for the wedding day. It is a lifelong commitment. It is something very serious and something that the Lord takes seriously. And you know, my last point is just trust the Lord, trust His timing, and be in constant prayer and constant communication with Him, because there's so many things that happened throughout our wedding and even the day of and the day before our wedding that God brought us through, and we wouldn't be able to do it on our own. And just make sure you are not neglecting your relationship with God, because He's the one who brought you this person. He's the one who's going to pull you through, and He has your best interest in mind. He knew 21 years ago, before I was even conceived, like how my wedding was going to look and what it was going to be like. And so just make sure to always rest in Him. And like when I say the first point, rest, I would say make sure you're reading your Bible, make sure you're resting in Him and in His presence. Make sure to trust Him. Make sure to not neglect that relationship, because if you don't have that relationship, your other relationship won't flourish and grow as well. So, but that is all that I have. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. That helps me know that you guys enjoy it, and it helps other people see my videos. And make sure to leave me any like comments or suggestions of videos you want to see from me. If it's anything about weddings, like anything like that, just let me know. And then make sure to subscribe if you have not already. I have so many amazing videos coming out. I graduate cosmetology school in 2 weeks, and I am so excited because I have this whole new schedule. I have this whole new time slot just filled with things that I'm passionate about, and I'm so passionate to be starting to really focus on my YouTube and to focus on what I am passionate about. So make sure to follow me on Instagram, because everything that all the updates, everything. My daily life is on Instagram, so that is _LilyAllen. So yeah, make sure to follow me there, and I will see you guys in my next video. Love you guys. Bye.